Scott Boras finally gets one of his clients to sign.
My name is Darren, that is AJ, and this is the D-A Sports Recap.
That's right.
That's not what you said.
Roll the intro.
There you go. Now we're about to pivot into Major League Baseball here. So if a Scott Boras client signs while we're live streaming, we'd appreciate the information dropped in the chat because it seems to always happen while we're recording and we miss it. So
yes, and then we got to wait a week.
Then we got to wait a week to cover it, and it's an old hat by then.
The biggest Scott Boras signing to date. Cody Bellinger, former Dodger.
That's right.
Signs a 3-year, $80 million contract. For the record, it does include a chance for Bellinger to opt out after each year. I don't know, man. I mean, he's got to be a little bit frustrated with this contract, right? This is significantly less than was originally presumed he would be making after this offseason.
Right.
Boras was definitely holding out. He was trying to get him a little bit more money, a little bit longer term. He was a 2017 National League Rookie of the Year. He obviously won his 2019 MVP with the Dodgers. He had some injuries, right? I mean, he had his enthusiastic high five that he dislocated his shoulder. I mean, he broke his leg in a collision. Like, this guy's kind of had an up and down career. But he had to go through his prove it year, right? He had to get through that prove it year with the Cubs.
Yep.
He did it.
He did.
He did it. He earned it. So my question's for you. Is this a fair contract for Cody Bellinger?
Let's start with absolutely. The biggest problem for why Cody Bellinger did not earn a long-term contract is he only did it for 1 year. He had 2 years of being one of the worst hitters in all of baseball, not just a drop off from his MVP season, literally being one of the worst hitters in baseball. What saved him is his base running ability and his defensive ability. Outside of that, he's one of the worst hitters, batting below the Mendoza line of 200 for the season for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's not going to help you, man. You come back and have 1 year of playing well. That's not going to earn you a 7 or 8 year contract. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Even if you are only 28.
Even if you are only 28. And on top of that, what a lot of people are concerned about is, yes, he had a better year, but he's not hitting the ball nearly as hard as he was.
Right.
Which is an indication that maybe his shoulder isn't as strong as it was. And obviously he can, over the season, regain that bat to ball speed, and maybe he slowed down his swing a little bit to be more of a ball in play or hit to contact type guy.
I mean, yeah, and if his percentages is going up, obviously that might be exactly what he was trying to do. He's not trying to put the ball out of the park anymore. He's trying to put the ball in play.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to strike out 35% of the time, but hit 20 bombs a year, and have an epic backflip once a year,
Yep.
So yeah, I do think this is a fair contract. If he opts into the whole thing, that's $80 million in 3 seasons. If you're doing well, that's more than he was going to get in a 9-year deal in 3 years.
Right.
Or a 6-year deal in 3 years. That's more money than he was going to get. If he stays into this deal and stays for all 3 years, this was more money than he was going to get in 3 years. Absolutely.
So Scott Boras was on record saying, we'll see you again next year. This is
a 1 year deal. So if he does go out there and he lays an egg and has another bad year,
he opts in.
He opts in for another 27.5.
Yep.
And then he has a great year, tests the market again, before he actually leaves for free agency. If he has a good year, we'll see if the market's there or not. But I'm guessing around that time, 25 million, which would be the amount that he makes in the third year of that contract, will be below what a 32-year-old Belly who's playing well would get.
Right.
So
my question is if he goes out, he has another, maybe he doesn't win the MVP, but he has an MVP caliber season. He's in the top 10 for MVP votes. Do you think he earns that larger contract, that longer contract that he was looking for with the Cubs, or you see him going somewhere else?
Oh, I see him going somewhere else.
He'll just take it wherever the money's at?
No, I don't think he'll take it wherever the money's at. I think what's going to happen, he will go somewhere else because I don't think the Cubs will be the one to offer them that.
Gotcha.
I do think that the Cubs are on a different timeline than what Belly's on. I do have them high hopes of winning their division this year, so I'm not totally out on Belly re-signing with them. If it's a 5 or 6 year deal from
might be the right fit for him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
something like that for sure.
Especially if he can get some guaranteed money somewhere. I mean, where he's not taking an opt out every year. He can get a 5 or 6 year deal, guaranteed money, roll through his contract, kind of finish out the tail end of his career.
I mean, my question to you is on this one is, looking back at this offseason, is it going to be the year where Scott Boras overplayed his hand?
Absolutely. I mean, I think this deal is just the first one to kind of show that the Jordan Montgomery contract, obviously they're still waiting on the Rangers TV deal and that kind of stuff, but I think they're holding out too long. And I think Boras is finally kind of admitting, like, the only reason that he feels like he won this contract negotiation was because he got an opt-out after each year.
Right.
That's your only winning. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't actually win at 3 years, 80 million.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is the year where Boras clients really got hosed, and that's why you have Scott Boras as your agent, is so you can
max money.
Max money. And again, just the list of the players: JD Martinez, Matt Chapman, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery. These are all still unsigned at the time of recording, which is unbelievable.
So much talent, dude.
So much talent.
Yep.
I mean, some of these pitchers, man. I mean, spring training's going, man. People are playing. These guys are not going to have enough time to ramp up for opening day. So if you sign Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery for the type of money that they're asking for, you're expecting those guys to be a frontline starter, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Not somebody who needs a month to get ready for the season.
Yep.
So it's not looking good, man.
I mean, those guys are potential opening day starters. I think Boras, like you said, he showed too much, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just sit there and hold out when your guys aren't getting paid.
None of these contracts are aging well.
Yeah.
That got those massive payouts. So everybody's a little bit more cautious. And I think that Boras definitely overplayed his hand on that. What's your take on who's going to be the next one to sign?
I think we see Blake Snell sign somewhere next.
You think?
Yeah.
I did hear that the Yankees may have made another offer. There's rumors of it.
Yeah.
But the only problem with the cap hit, whatever they offer him, they have to pay double. So he wants $30 million a year.
Yeah.
The Yankees are going to pay $60 million to have him on the team. I don't know if they're going to do that.
Yeah. You're not going to see these players go unsigned to start the season, right? They're going to land somewhere.
Let's hope not.
Like, they got to. There's too much talent. And Boras isn't going to just let him not get paid for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to work something out. And I think, I actually do think we probably see some more contracts, a lot like the Cody Bellinger contract. It's a shorter term. The money's not bad. He's going to continue to try to get opt-outs.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they can kind of observe the market and see as it fluctuates and, have a potential to earn some of these guys these longer term contracts like they're hoping for.
Yeah, I do see the chances of Blake Snell going to the Mets a possibility, because their starting rotation's pretty shot. I believe
they had to trade it all away after last year.
Yeah, and they're still paying for it.
They did their best in 1 year.
I think their other starter is actually down for a month now with a shoulder injury. So their frontline starter.
They're just falling apart.
Yeah, so I don't know about that, man. We'll see. But
yep.
If you are watching this on YouTube, if you like what you're seeing, what we talked about here in Major League Baseball, you can see more of our coverage on Major League Baseball. It'll be linked right here in a playlist for you right there. We also have a subscribe button right here in the middle. Make sure you click on that so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.
This is available as a podcast wherever you get it, audio only. There should be a link right there.
My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.